Welcome back everybody, Natu here once again. So let's talk about my thoughts and impression about the King of Fighter beta. Let's start first off with the UI. I like the presentation. It looks super clean and crispy, like the colors. Only thing that I don't like so much is, like, for example, when you're going to a match, in the waiting or before that, because you're not able to see the level of connection or the bar for the opponent that you're gonna fight, or even when you're going or even when you're going inside the room. Maybe they did that just so they can have more data on testing the beta. That can be a reason why, but I hope that is the case. I will be putting it on my, because I'm going to divide this by sections. I will be talking more about the netcode in a few minutes. Another thing I want to talk about, even now that we are right now in the, talking about how it looks, the game, etc., is that when you see things popping up, like for example a counter, a notification, or also like punish, reversal, counter, etc., I think they should pop up a little bit more. To be honest, it might be a little bit of nitpicking, but it will help, I think, to new users able to identify what is happening better, and also for viewers. Now, having said that, again, this is like a nitpicky, being nitpicky or anything like that. If you leave it like it is right now, I think it will be okay. But I would like that a little bit more fleshed out. Now, about the netcode, that is the big thing I have issues with it right now. And let me explain what I mean by this. To be honest, this is the first 3D SNK game that has a good netcode. In this case, being a rollback netcode. Having said that, keep in mind I said the first 3D SNK netcode that is good, because they have UPO for older games like King of Fighter 2002, I got Roll Mark of the Wolf, etc., and those work excellent. But over here, the first experience I had was with my brother. And we were doing it was a perfect experience playing with him. No delay, not anything. You could react, you can counter, etc. Now, when I started playing with other players across the world, keep in mind I cannot see where they're from, and also, like I say at the beginning of this video, there's no way to gauge me like, hey, they have like a 3 bars or a 4 bars, because you will be only able to see it once you start playing against them in the character select or before that, right? So again, I don't know if they did that on purpose, but to be honest, it's kind of annoying. And even though you can see it was kind of weird because I will be playing against people that have one level, right? And I will be doing great, but then I will have other people that it was kind of miss. And also you see that I'm not sure if maybe it's because the other player was using Wi-Fi or maybe they have bad internet, right? Because you will see the rollback going back and forth between 4, 6, 8, and sometimes it was kind of annoying because you were trying to fight against this person, and usually will pop up when they're either trying to mash maybe a reversal or he's pressing button really fast. So I'm afraid that maybe this game has a little bit of the issue that Street Fighter V has with its netcode, that due to certain actions it can cause a little bit of delay. I hope they clean this up, because I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, which netcode I prefer, I will be saying King of Fighter 15, of course. But the way I see it right now is, like, for example, if you're trying to rank what netcode is the better one right now across all games, you will say Guilty Gear and Mortal Kombat. Then you might say, depending on their case, right? On my case, Virtua Fighter works perfectly, so you might be saying Virtua Fighter. And then I will be having like a back and forth between Tekken and King of Fighter 15 the way it is right now. And after that, you will have games like Dragon Ball, Grand Blue, BB Tag, and then Street Fighter 5 like at the bottom, like at the end of everything. That will be Street Fighter 5. So yeah, I think they need to work a little bit more on the netcode. Hopefully this beta will give them more information on how to tweak this, and I hope that people are being vocal, like, hey, the netcode is good, but it needs to get better. Like, it's not awesome, it's just great. Okay, now let's go with the gameplay. That's another thing that, because I don't want to end with a negative, negative review or anything like that, because I love fighters, but I want to be transparent and say what I think about it. So I hope that's one of my main concerns, because usually that's what happened with any SNK game. The netcode is not that good, so people stop playing it, even though people are interested on the characters and the gameplay, etc., etc. And last year, well, actually almost 2 years now with COVID and everything like that, has been a clusterfuck for people trying to play online. And we all have been affected by it, But it will have been good to have a good netcode, and that way you can also grow the scene and have more people playing it. Okay, so let's talk about the gameplay, because this is something really important that I have seen people going like, hey, I don't like this version because this version of King of Fighters is so easy, another scrub game for scrub people, etc., etc. To be honest, I think it's dumb going that way. At least with King of Fighters, like, it's not, like, trying to do combos in King of Fighters, even though the way it is way easier than before, it's not easier than other franchise, like for example Grand Blue, etc., etc. There's still some fundamentals that the people need to know. Like, even if your opponent knows how to do those easy combos, quotation marks, right? And if you have the great fundamentals and know what you're doing in King of Fighters, even if you don't have the best combo execution, but you know how to play the type of footsies that you play in King of Fighters and how the mechanics work, you can beat that person regardless of what they do. Because yes, you can say, oh, they can kill you with one combo, and yes, that is true. But keep in mind that there's, for example, you will need requirements like having 5 bars, being on your last character, and being then able to have a clean hit so you can combo them, especially if you're starting with a short hop or like a jumping, etc., etc. Now, yes, you can do that with less meter or less requirements, but the way to do that is like you need to, instead of break the max mode for a starting combo, you need to activate it before starting the combo and then look for an opening, because you will have more time in the gauge to make more attacks, etc., etc. So it's not that easy. It's not an X factor. That's what I'm trying to say, people. If it was X factor, that would be messed up, but that's not the case. I do think that they might need to make it so that there might be like maybe play with a little bit with the requirements about having so much damage. Maybe play with the values, like for example, if you're your last character, similar like in Tekken, that there is like a rage boost. Maybe doing that, or a little at least scale down a little bit of damage from some characters, because right now it's kind of ridiculous. But like I said, it's not that easy to get that that hit. I mean, if you know what you're doing against somebody that doesn't know, yes, it will be easy, but against high level, it won't be that easy. Another thing I want to talk about is that I have seen people saying that, hey, the meters are so, you generate meter all the time. To be honest, I don't think that's the case. I think there's a little bit of a small nerf about it. I remember our King of Fighters that you will generate more meter when playing on like this time around, where it seems that it seems like a happy medium. I don't think you has to struggle to get a meter, but I don't think it's huge nilly you will get a meter. Now, maybe it's something that, like, I've been playing too much Guilty Gear, maybe that's why I'm saying I see it slower. Maybe that's what's happening on my case. But I think it's the meter is okay the way it is right now. Regarding combos, I like them how it is right now. Also like that you can use EX without using maximal, and that in particular is a good thing, especially for players that were having issues with trying to do mass combos all the time. Before, and this is something that has been happening from King of Fighters 2002, that started using the max mode option. If you don't know what I mean by max mode, that means like when you're doing a combo, like let's say you do a string, like C or hard punch, in this case 4A, which is 4P, low punch, I guess. It's kind of weird. King of Fighters is A, B, C, D. So A and C are punches, so it will be C, keep in mind it will be close C, and then A for for A, and then activate the meter, and you will do that again, and then do a special move and cancel that special move to another special move, especially if they have juggle properties. Okay. Anyways, after that handful, that is way easier to do now because of the timing of how Maximo technically does it for you. You can the timer, the time stop is bigger, so you can see what is happening and when to press the buttons. Now, some people were struggling with that, but with this new version, I don't think they need to worry about that because they can use the meter in different ways. Keep in mind that the max mode now is 2 bars instead of 1. Before it was 1 bar, and you could, do like a custom super all the time, and that's up. And even though I say like custom super, because you will do the string and then do the EXs and stuff like that. If you messed up, you could do depending on the character, you can use more pressure or opening up the opening, etc., etc. So I think right now it's a good balance between new players trying to enter the franchise and old players that never liked the Maximo mechanic to enter again. Because I don't know, like for example, I have friends that say, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that kind of King of Fire, that mechanic of the game. They like more like King of Fighters 98. And this time around, they can have that King of Fire 98, but added with, in this case, with EX moves, which allow them to have more creativity across the board. Even if you're a player that likes to use the Maximo or use the EX, you can go either way, or you can combine them. And at this moment, I think it will be it's a great balance. So I love the gameplay as it is right now. Also, I feel like the game is a little bit slower, maybe because it has more animations than before, and that's why I can see things better. I also see that there has been a small nerf between each version of King of Fire. What I mean by that is, like, for example, short hops were really hard if you're not somebody that has good reaction to fight against it. Now it's easier to react with the jabs because the jabs are more active, etc., etc. I still see the old issue that doing an anti-air against some players or characters in actuality are still hard because you might get like you both get hit. But yeah. Anyways, so far so good from the King of Fighters 15 beta. I'm hopeful for the future. Anyways, that's gonna be all for the video. As always, like and subscribe. More content coming up, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.
Time to start with a